Before the British Empire reached its peak, before the scramble for Africa carved a continent apart, there stood a city, vast, powerful, and proud. A kingdom whose walls stretched farther than the Great Wall of China. A kingdom whose art stunned Europe, and whose king ruled with divine power. This is the story of Benin, and how in 1897 it was brought to its knees, not by warriors, but by the greed of an empire. For over 500 years, Benin was a kingdom unlike any other in West Africa. Founded around the 11th century, it rose under the might of kings known as the Obas. Under Oba Eware the Great, Benin expanded into a vast empire, conquering neighboring lands and establishing trade with Europe as early as the 1400s. Ivory, pepper, palm oil, even slaves all flowed through Benin's bustling markets. The Portuguese came first, bringing guns, goods, and gold. Then the Dutch. Then the British. To them, Benin was both a mystery and an opportunity. Benin's culture was unmatched. Its bronze works captured centuries of royal history, stories of kings, battles, and gods. Every plaque, every carving, a symbol of power. But these treasures? They would one day be torn from their home and displayed in foreign halls thousands of miles away. By 1885, Africa was no longer a free continent. At the Berlin Conference, European powers drew lines on maps, claiming entire kingdoms as protectorates. The British claimed Nigeria, and within it, they set their sights on Benin. British traders complained that the Oba Ovanronwen Nogbaisi, restricted trade. They wanted free access to palm oil and ivory. The Oba refused. To him, trade was sacred, governed by ancient customs. The Oba sought guidance from the gods. His priests warned him, foreigners bring fire and ruin. But the British were not to be stopped by words or warnings. In December 1896, Acting Consul General James Phillips decided to visit Benin City against orders. He wrote to London, "I intend to depose the Oba and bring Benin under British authority." He set out with a small party, unarmed, he claimed, to negotiate. But the Oba's chiefs believed otherwise. Rumors spread. The white men are coming to take our kingdom. On January 4th, 1897, the British delegation was ambushed near Ugotin. Almost all were killed. The Benin Massacre, the British called it. London's response was swift and brutal. By February 1897, the punitive expedition was launched. 1,200 British soldiers, armed with Maxim guns and rockets, sailed for Benin. They burned everything in their path. Villages were razed, shrines destroyed, people scattered. The Oba's warriors fought bravely, but spears and muskets could not stop machine guns. On February 18, 1897, the British reached the gates of Benin City. They shelled it from a distance, and when the smoke cleared, they entered a city of silence. The royal palace was looted and burned. Bronze heads, ivory tusks, coral regalia, all taken as spoils of war. The Oba fled into the forest, seeking refuge. For months, he evaded capture, sustained by loyal followers, but eventually, he surrendered. Oba Ovanramwen was exiled to Calabar, far from the kingdom he once ruled. He lived there until his death in 1914. Benin became part of the British colony of Nigeria. Thousands of artworks, bronzes, ivories, masks, were shipped to Europe. They were sold, displayed, and admired. yet few spoke of how they were taken. But Benin did not die. Its people endured. Its art still speaks of kings and ancestors, of courage and pride. Today, voices rise again, demanding the return of what was stolen. And slowly, the Bronzes are finding their way home.
Empires rise and fall, but memory endures. The invasion of 1897 was not just the fall of a city, it was the silencing of a civilization's voice. Yet that voice still whispers, through the art, the stories, and the spirit of Benin.
Hey, yo.